Today on Drawbli.
I am drawing a painting within a painting.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click the subscribe button if you're new around here.
And check out Brush Club at the link below in the description, our brand new subscription service for monthly brushes. Abby, you're creating a painting inside of a painting.
Strictly speaking, I already did. The sunflower painting in the top corner of this piece, I worked on separately. I guess we lost the footage, but I spent actually a while creating the sunflower painting in the corner and enjoyed that part of the process.
So when you made that painting, did you know that it would just be a background piece, or was that like its own thing that you did?
Yeah, I was feeling inspired by pictures of like masterpiece artworks where you could zoom in on any tiny portion of like, a masterpiece, and every tiny portion feels like, whoa, it's so good here. Like even if it's just creamy folds of fabric,
right?
And not to mention, full on separate paintings in the background of a main painting.
Yeah.
So feeling thus inspired, I went forward.
Yeah, a lot of old artwork actually has like references to other even older artworks. I think I saw a TikTok once where it was like in a museum and they're filming this beautiful painting, and then they zoom into a little corner and then like pan over to the side to another painting, and it's like the painting inside of the painting.
Oh yeah.
It was very cool.
Very, very cool.
I don't know the names of the artworks because they didn't mention them, but it was
just a nice nod.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Otherwise, I like doing this piece because it was a white figure sort of on a white background, and I wanted to experiment with that and see if I could have one sort of stand out from the other just slightly, but have it be a subtle shift.
You're talking about like the swimsuit she's wearing?
Yeah,
okay.
We've looked at artists in the past who have done some kind of white on white stuff, and I've always been very impressed by that. So that was another thing I wanted to try here.
Yeah, it creates a really cool composition with the skin of the character kind of sticking out. I really like that kind of stuff. It gives me a similar vibe when I see people take hair and they take the shape of the hair and they just like cut it out so there's no hair texture. It's just like the background through the hair.
Yeah.
It gives me that vibe with the swimsuit. But yeah, it still has like enough detail that it reads really well. It's cool.
I'm still struggling with heads at this size. I'm zoomed in here, but I still feel like when I draw on my iPad on the size of a canvas, which is a large size, I still end up working in just such a small selection of pixels that I can't quite get a head going that like satisfies me.
Yeah.
Like I worked for a while on this. I redid the hair multiple times. I redid the little profile multiple times, but I think there's just something in my workflow that needs to be adjusted that I haven't quite figured out yet.
Yeah, I think for this scale, I think it's harder when you don't have the resolution when you zoom into that little portion. I think it's something that will become easier with time, but also there's a reason why professional illustrators work on a computer and with a tablet, graphics tablet or Cintiq like I have here. It's because they can at any point increase the scale of their resolution like in Photoshop and get in there and continue to refine details.
Exactly.
In Procreate, I think you can actually increase the resolution of your canvas. I'll have to double check on that.
Yeah.
But after the fact, obviously you can before. But one thing you might be able to do is once you get to a certain point, like compress a bunch of your layers and then go in and really blow up the scale of your canvas so that you can have more pixels to play with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll have to walk me through that because I don't know what you meant, but
yeah, so the size of your canvas is based on the number of pixels that you have.
I think I have it set to the largest size, basically, all my canvases.
You don't. So that's the cool thing about Procreate and many digital painting softwares is you can pick whatever size you want. But the bigger you make your canvas with Procreate, the less layers they allow you to create.
Oh, I don't work with that many layers, so that's not too bad for me.
Yeah, so you might be able to increase your resolution quite a lot. I'll show you, how to mess with that later because, it's something that I'm very used to working digitally. But I essentially, when we started painting, created a canvas scale that would give us a good number of layers to work with.
Yeah, that's the one I still use.
Yeah, but you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can do whatever you want.
True.
So I'll mess with it. I'll show you how to play around
I
with the
felt
scale.
pretty excited by this new method I've discovered of creating an album with my reference and inspirations.
Yeah.
And putting that off to the side in a split screen. And then that way I can zoom in on one image, such as the reference, and then back out and like look at my inspirational pictures.
Yeah, this is such a cool translation of style. You have some other stuff that you're working on that I've seen you really kind of experimenting and playing around with art style a lot. And I'm seeing your kind of, your vibe start to come together.
It's still like, when I hear, you say like my style or my vibe, it still like, is a little disconcerting. Like, oh no, I don't want to have that yet. Like, I'd rather wait till I'm very good to have like a distinct style.
You definitely have some stuff coming through, and it is very good.
Oh, thank you. We'll see.
No, it's cool. It's cool. The thing you're working on right now, the motorcycle girls, which is coming up here soon once you're done with that.
Those are fun.
Yeah, those are really cool. Mm-hmm. And this is super cool too. Like, this is awesome. You've combined a lot of different stuff to make this your own.
Yeah. I spent, my average amount of time on a piece, which is still about 4 hours, I think is how much time I spent on this total, which is really still where I'm getting to. I redraw her head, of course I do. It's still the point I'm getting to where I find like, okay, I can't seem to push on this anymore that makes a substantial enough difference that I like the result. Which is why you see me, redrawing her entire head and trying things again, because I'm really starting to reach that limit here at the end of my roughly 4 hours.
Maybe the only thing that's holding you back is resolution. And after I show you how you can increase the resolution of your canvas, you're gonna be like crazy OP.
Big
Abby Buff coming in.
Sometimes it seems like that. Yeah, Big Abby Buff. Like you learn one new thing and it's like a jump forward in terms of like, I can do so much more now.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Mm-hmm. Obviously it happens less as you continue to improve and like get better, but
yeah,
that's why I think it's really important to experiment and try new things, which is one of the reasons why I think Brush Club is super cool. Mm-hmm. Just because it's constantly, each month giving you new things to play around and experiment with.
I love Brush Club. I love having like the different brushes. I think I was using Lunchbox.
Yeah, looks like
for this one. Yeah, I recognize the peanut butter brush as the halftone. I really like the Lunchbox brush set.
Yeah, I think it's just important to, whatever it might be, not just brushes, but like style, techniques. I think it's really important to try new things as often as possible. Mm-hmm. When I was really new to sculpting, typically people kind of create a certain method or technique for doing something, like creating a face, for example. Mm-hmm. You might use the Loomis method. But I really think that's a fantastic way to get stuck in a rut. Mm-hmm. And instead, I highly recommend, just trying different techniques as often as possible, because it makes you better at doing the process as a whole. So it's like, oh no, I don't use the Loomis method. I don't use the Asaro head method. Mm-hmm. I am just very familiar with all these different techniques, all these different processes. And because of that, I can do it any number of ways.
Okay, so here's the finished one. I did go back and redo her hair again without getting the footage in here.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that is my work of that few days. And I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed the painting in the background, how it kind of echoes the tones in her hair.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really hard to work on her chest area. You can tell I kind of still struggled with that to the end. But yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah, it's really cool. Fantastic job. I love it.
Thank you.
And if you want to have a fun one, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out Brush Club at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goomba.
She looks like she's in somewhere nice. California.
Panama. The Panama Canal specifically.
I bet she's in the Panama Canal.
She's stuck there.
Yes.
Just like that boat.
Just like that boat was back in COVID times.
Back in a long time ago.
Yes.